Okay. So now we go into the other part, right, which is the investment holding company. So in the chapter 12, you have the investment holding company here. Ni investment holding company, right? It's an interesting topic and it's also topic yang being tested lah many times lah. If you look into the past year question or even in the midterm, right? We have many actually question on investment holding company, right? Okay. So what is an investment holding company? Look at this. Investment holding company is under section 60F. So income tax act kan ada banyak section. So I think that last time kita tengok under section 60A dia kan. So this one is 60F. So what is an investment holding company? Right, a company whose activities consist wholly in making of investment. Namanya investment holding company. Apa yang nampak kat situ? Right, means that dia ada investment. What kind of investment? Investment ni could be in the form of kalau you could be in the form of shares. You invest in shares. You could invest in properties. You could invest in money. For example, you put in your fixed deposit ke ataupun you loan money to other companies. So from all these investment, you akan derive your income. So for example, if you invest in shares, you akan dapat dividend. If you invest in property, you akan dapat rental income. If you invest in apa tadi? Money, right? You dapat interest income. So these are what we call the investment lah. So the investment holding company maknanya dia hold dia punya investment tu. Alright, kalau dia ada property, dia hold dia punya property and derive rental income. If you have investment in shares, you hold your shares, then you dapat your punya dividend income. Nampak tak? So dia tak adalah aktiviti macam business macam biasa-biasa tu. Tak ada, tak ada. Dia holding of investment only. However, in order for a company to be classified as investment holding company, all right, for example, a company business of letting of property, all right, either you provide or maybe you do not provide any maintenance. It's okay, all right. But for a company to be categorized of investment holding company, 80% of its gross income must come from holding of investment. Faham tak? So your income could be from section 4A income, business income. You could come from 4C, 4D, or even 4F income. Yeah, for example, income other than income from holding or investment, such as kalau cakap 4C, 4D tu memang investment income. Tapi you may also find later that company charge management fees to their subsidiaries. So bila management fees jadi income, you nak letak benda tu kat mana? You cannot be section 4C, it cannot be section 4D. So the investment or the management fee is treated as a section 4F income. Have you heard of management fees? Means that company normally holding company lah yang akan impose management fee to their subsidiaries. Yeah, so you impose management fee, so that income, the fees that you receive from your subsidiary jadi you punya income lah, and that income is under section 4F. So katalah now you ada income from section 4C, 4D and 4F. So for a company to be ISC, maknanya investment income dia 4C, 4D tu must be at least 80% of your punya total income. So total income datang pada mana? 4C, 4D dengan 4F. Faham? Right. So if 80%, mana banyak lah. 80% of your income datang daripada investment, then you will become a investment holding company. Okay. Once you are categorized as an investment holding company, then you can refer pula dia punya section 60FA dengan section 60F. Tadi, right, 60F dipecah. 60F untuk unlisted company. So later you nampak, ISC ni ada sama listed atau unlisted. Kalau unlisted, you refer pada section 60F. But kalau the ISC is a listed on Bursa Malaysia, then you have to refer to 60FA. Right? There are two different kind of computation for investment holding company. Okay. So, before we go into that, I nak tengok kat sini, right? Okay. Investment holding company, it says that main activity is holding of investment whereby more than 80% of your income come from section 4C, 4D, including as income. Bila you nak kira 80% ni, whether company is is an investment holding company or not, you have to look at your 4C income. 4C income datang mana? Dividend, interest and discount. So dividend ni even though is exempt or not exempted, alright, you still have to use that, alright, in order for you to compute the 80%. Sebab you nak tengok, you punya income from investment ni berapa banyak. It's not about whether exempted or not, but how much is your income from your investment. From 4D is your RRP, your rental, your royalty and your premium. So normally kita review pada rental je lah. Alright. So including as income. So bila you nak kira 80% ni, you kena masukkan semua. 4C, 4D over total income. So total income ni is 4C, 4D campur 4F. Nampak? So beza dia 4C, 4D over 4C, 4D, 4F. So you akan dapat tak more than 80%. Kalau dapat 80% or more, then the company is investment holding company. So what happen when you are investment holding company? Alright. Bila you investment holding company, then the computation is different. So macam mana, how different is the computation? Okay, katalah the first one is that a listed company. Right? Kalau listed company, you have to refer to section 60 FA. Under 60 under listed company, it says that, so bila listed company, maknanya sekarang ni, you punya rental income, you assess as section 4A income. You punya investment income semua jadi section 4A income. Even though you provide service ke tidak, no. As long as you are listed company, everything is section 4A income. Right? So you may have income from rental itself, you may have income from interest, you may have income from your dividend. But dividend again, when you do your taxcom, dividend is exempted. Yeah. So any income derived from the holding of investment now being treated as section 4A income. So ada 4A income, you akan divide lah. You akan ada dividend, you akan ada interest, you akan ada rental. Alright. And then you since it's a section 4A income, alright, you can claim capital allowance and you can also claim common expenses. Alright. Macam mana nak kira capital allowance, macam mana nak kira common expenses? So later we look into the example. It says that you're going to apportion your CA and common expenses to each of the income based on your gross income from each source. Yeah. However, for a listed company, unutilized losses, kalau ada losses, right, kalau unutilized, you cannot carry forward. Similarly, kalau ada capital allowance pun, you cannot carry forward. So, dia jadi macam, that year, kalau habis-habis lah, right, you cannot carry forward, right? And then, allowed to deduct portion of admin expenses for company that derive passive income, such as rental, dividend, and interest. So, later we look into the example. So, this one untuk listed company. Yeah? Tak boleh. Okay, so how to apportion your CA? So kita ada dua, kita panggil common capital allowance dengan common expenses lah. Alright, capital allowance dengan, selalunya dia akan bagi satu. Untuk for this company, the capital allowance is how much, the common expenses is how much. So you're going to apportion the capital allowance and the common expenses to each of the income. Yeah, so how to apportion capital allowance? Katalah income from rental. So you ada gross income from your rental over total income. Total income ni pada mana? Daripada dividend, campur interest, campur rental, or maybe you may have management fee masuk ke tak? Masuk, right? So times by total capital allowance given to you lah. So you akan apportion benda tu. Similarly untuk common expenses juga, you akan apportion accordingly. Okay. However, most of the time kita akan ada unlisted company. So macam ni nak cakap. Normally sometimes company, soalan akan cakap lah, company is a listed company in the bursa. Or kalau you nampak sendian berhad, benda tu unlisted lah. Right, because company to be listed, it has to be a berhad company. Tapi tak semua berhad is listed. So you have a listed company, nampak berhad, so listed, dan you akan pakai 60 FA. But kalau unlisted company, sendian berhad, dan you akan pakai 60 F. Under 60F, computation is any income derived from the holding of investment akan treated as a non-business source. Maknanya you akan income under section 4C, you akan income under section 4D. Right, but any income, any expenditure incurred, for example, in deriving to your interest income, any direct expenses related to your rental income is deductible against the income. Right, but income other than income from holding our investments, such as your management fees, is treated as section 4F. Right, and then you also have a very important under investment holding company, kita panggil permitted expenses. Right, so bila you holding company, you tak boleh claim whatever expenditure that you incurred. Right, only certain expenditure is allowable or kita panggil permitted. So what are the expenses which are permitted expense? Right, director's fees, wages and salaries, management fees, secretarial audit and accounting fees, telephone charges, printing and stationery, postage fee, rental and other expenses, for example, for the purpose of to maintain an office. So nampak tak? You may have your other expenditure, you may have your travelling expenditure, you may have your entertainment, right? Or you may have other expenditure. Depreciation, for example, right? But for the purpose of investment holding company, these are the permitted expenses. So maknanya you from the list of expenses, you can identify which one are the permitted expenses first, right? So for example, if you look into the question, I got tutorial question for investment holding. Example here, you are given the profit and loss account of company Sendirian Berhad. Bila nampak perkataan Sendirian Berhad, you know that this one is an unlisted company. Betul? Okay. Then you're given the profit and loss account. You nampak, you are the income from dividend, interest from bond, rental income, and dapat gain from sale of investment, and then dapat management fees juga. Nampak? These are the different type of income. And the expenses, you have director's fee, salaries and allowance, audit fee, tax agent fee, office rental, travelling, depreciation and finance cost. Okay, at this point of time, how much is your permitted expenses? Or which one is the permitted expenses?
Director fees,
Director fees,
Okay,
salaries,
salary,
okay.
audit fee.
Ha, mana dengan audit fee?
ada
Audit fee kat
audit
mana?
fee.
Mana? Oh, ada audit fee, boleh. Okay. Tax agent fee boleh tak?
Boleh. Tak boleh.
Boleh.
Macam tax tak ada, rasa tak ada, tak boleh.
Boleh.
Office rental,
Tak
Boleh.
boleh.
travelling,
Travelling tak boleh.
depreciation,
Tak
Tak
boleh.
finance.
Tak boleh.
Tengok note nombor 3 tu. Jangan cakap tak boleh. Jangan tengok note dulu. Ni pun rental income pun ada note number 2 ni. Okay. So maknanya first ISC you kena identify dulu which one is the permitted expenses. Sebab daripada permitted expenses ni pula nanti you kena buat another computation. What are the computation? Ish, dia patah balik.
Portion tu ada.
Sabar. Bukan. Kenapa dia ke bawah? Okay. So, once you identify permitted expenses, alright, contohnya soalan tadi, you dah tahu, okay, director fee semua ni, you dah listkan. You kena listkan. Director's fee 1640, salary allowance 2150, audit fees. Tax agent fee memang tak boleh. Kita kena check balik lah. Tax agent. Office rental can. Alright, so you have all the expenses, list down. So, these are the permitted expenses. However, from these permitted expenses, you kena pakai pula formula A times by B over 4C. What is A? A is the total permitted expenses yang kira tadi lah. Understand? Okay. What is B? B is the gross income consisting of dividend, interest and rental chargeable to tax for a basis period. Dapat tangkap? So maknanya dividend, only dividend yang chargeable to tax. Maknanya kalau dia exempt dividend tak kira. Interest, right? Is it taxable or not? Rental, is it taxable or not? Rental here could be rental from section 4A or 4D lah. Alright, so you akan ambil B tu is only for C income, for D income which is chargeable to tax. So contoh kalau daripada your tutorial kat sini, what is your B? What is your B? It has to be interest, income from bonds. Kenapa dividend income tak masuk? Number one, dia cakap apa? Number one, dividend is single tier and taxable. So this one is exempted lah. Dividend kan ada
Exempted.
single tier.
2620 tu kena.
Dividend from unit trust which is taxable. Okay, dia masuk.
Dia masuk.
Okay. Rental income from commercial properties where you provide services. Okay. And then here no maintenance. So dua-dua is for A and for D lah. But for the purpose of you punya nak kira you punya rental income tadi. Nak kira your permitted expense for B ni termasuk lah. Rental tadi lah. Both rental will be included. Alright. So 760 ni will be included. Gain from realization tak masuk. Management fee pun tak masuk. Right? So maknanya you akan ambil daripada interest dengan rental only. Dividend dividend yang taxable tadi. Dividend from unit trust. Okay. Okay. Lepas tu apa? Over times by B over 4C. C apa C? C is the aggregate gross income consists of dividend. Whether exempt or not. Interest and rental and nampak? And gains from realization of investment. Apa maksud realization of investment?
Jual investment.
Jual investment. Mean that you dispose your investment, you have a gain. So katalah you ada shares, shares is your investment. But when you dispose of your shares, you akan compare harga shares masa beli dengan harga masa jual. Alright, so ada gain or loss. So kalau benda tu gain is an income to you. But generally gains from realization of investment is not taxable, betul? But dia tak fall under 4C or 4D. Tapi for the purpose for you to compute C, you kena masukkan gains from your realization of investment. So contoh dalam tutorial kita ada kat atas ni lah, gain from sale of investment. So that will be part of C. Right? And then what else? And then all the income lah, dividend ke, whether taxable or non-taxable akan masuk. So you akan ambilkan balik. Actually you akan ambilkan semua balik lah. Dividend income, campur interest, campur rental, campur gains from investment. So itu yang akan dapat C. Tapi C ni is a 4 kali C. So you can dapat 4 times by your C. Nampak? So I suggest that bila you buat A, you listkan A tu apa. Bila you buat B, you listkan B tu apa. Bila you buat C, you listkan C tu apa. Faham? Jangan main ikut sekati letak je figure dekat calculator you. Okay, letak figure tu. Lepas tu figure tu salah. I nak buat macam mana? I cannot go back to you punya working. Alright, so I suggest that you list down your A, your B and your C. Then you plug in your formula. A times by B times by 4 over 4C. Faham? Okay. Then, once you dah dapat number 1, which is to compute A times by B over 4C, you comparekan your answer with 5% of B. So that's why kena ada B. B berapa? How much is your B? What is 5% of your B? So now you have to compare your number 1 dengan number 2, whichever is lower, that is your permitted expenses. What do you mean by permitted expenses here? This is the amount which is given as deduction against your aggregate income. Okay, so the computation, right? Nampak? Your 4C, 4D, 4F dapat aggregate income minus permitted expenses. How to get your permitted expenses? You use the formula A times B over 4C or compare with 5% of B, whichever lower, that figure goes into here. So you think that your working important or not? Huh? Very important, all right? Because every item is given as a tick. Whether tick 2.5 ke, 0.25 ke, it doesn't matter. But your answer must be there. All right, so I suggest that you have it all these things. Right, so D again, under A tu dia kata memang tak ada tax kat sini. Audit masuk, accounting masuk. Tax tak masuk. E is any rental, B is all the taxable, and C is all income, rental, taxable and exempted, campur realization from investment. Students selalu lupa gains from realization ni tu bagi part of your C. Okay, nampak? So senang, ni senang je kan? Understand? Okay. Let's the next, habis dah lah. Habis dah slide ni. Okay. Investment holding company, again, the formula you have to use, tengok balik. A, section 4C, 4D, F, alright. If dividend is exempted, you tulis like exempt. Alright, and then you have your interest, whatever interest that you have. Rental, remember, in arriving to each income, you kena dapatkan adjusted rental income. Adjusted interest income. Sebab kadang-kadang you ada expenditure incurred in deriving to that income. So that is also deductible. Right, then you have the management fee at section 4F. So from there, you dapat aggregate income minus your permitted expenses. How to compute your permitted expenses? You pakai that formula. Okay, all right. But if you are a listed company, every income, right, your every income here, whether is including your management fee pun jadi section 4A income. Alright, all income, your dividend, interest, rental, whether business or non-business, and your management fee all become section 4A income. Cumanya you akan ada separate business source. So you kena separately assess. So for each income, you akan ada minus common expenses, minus capital allowance. So how to get that common expenses for each source tu, you kena apportion depending on the income from each lah, over gross income. Gross income over total income macam tu. Yeah. But remember that there's no carry forward of your losses and your capital allowance. So let's look into the example again in your tutorial. Right, dividend and then you have your rental. Okay, finance cost ni tadi. Finance cost ni, is it part of your permitted expenses? It depends juga. Tengok, finance cost cakap apa? Finance cost was from a loan of 100,000, 10 million taken to finance investment. Nampak tak? The loan money was used to purchase the following investment. Shares in the Malaysian company, RM3,000. So maknanya daripada 10 million ni, you gunakan untuk beli shares, you gunakan beli investment in unit trust, for bonds, for commercial properties and residential properties. So okay. From here, Nurin Alia, what do you understand by note number 3?
I think all the finance cost is relating to the operating activity, which is investment.
Okay. So how are you going to trade that 600? Is that finance cost? Macam mana nak buat?
Kena apportion ke madam?
I tanya you tanya I balik. So kata nak finance cost ni ada 600,000. 600, ada 1,000 tak? Ada 1,000. 600 lah kan. Mana daripada 600 ni, you akan deduct. Sebab finance cost ni, expenditure ni, the finance tu sebab you ambil loan untuk finance you punya investment. So the cost tu, finance cost tu. So tapi yang dia bagi kat sini, 3,000 semua ni, is the investment. Faham tak? You ambil loan 10 million, tapi you invest in several investment. So the 600 tadi in finance cost tu is the cost tu yang you nak apportion between those investment income. So contohlah, kalau shares in Malaysian companies, you invest 3,000, so 3,000 over 10,000. Darabkan dengan finance cost which is 600. How much you get? Catat dia letak sini. Berapa dapat? Weh, 30% darab dengan 6 berapa? 180 kot. Aduh. Okay. Contohnya 180. Tapi remember that bila you buat tax computation, kan you buat section 4C income, contohlah kita buat, this one is sendian berhad kan. So bila you buat dividend income tu, dividend income you letak apa?
Exam.
Exempt. Alright. So bila you exempt, boleh tak you tolak finance cost under dividend?
No.
So walaupun you ada finance cost attributed to your dividend income 180, you tak boleh tolak. Because your dividend is exempt dividend. Faham? Okay. Tapi kalau unit trust, okay, kalau unit trust you invest 2,400 over 10 million, darabkan dengan 600, berapa you dapat?
144.
144 contoh Bila you dapat 144, berapa income from unit trust? Income from bond, yang mana?
Not one, madam, not one. Not
Okay,
one.
sorry. Ni. Okay. Mana?
Note nombor
Dividend
1.
from unit trust. 2620. So maknanya yang tadi tu 7220 tu exempt kan? Tu exempt. Tapi 2620, tapi you kena apportion lagi lah. Sebab, boleh. You terus ambil je lah. Sebab dia dah pecah dua ni. Dividend from companies dengan unit trust. So maknanya your income 2620, you akan minus 144 lah. Finance cost. Baru you dapat adjusted income from your unit trust. Similarly untuk bonds lah. Mana bonds? Bond tak ada. Bond terus ambil. Bond 3420. So kira lah. So you akan apportionkan the 600 finance cost tu against you punya income. Understand? Tapi kalau section 4D income, you akan ambil terus lah yang ni. Sebab rental, commercial dengan residential kan. Sebab ni nak apportion sebab sometimes you akan jadi benda tu, bila benda tu akan jadi 4D income sebab ada sendian berhad. Even though you provide services, dia akan jadi 4D income juga. Alright? So you apportion your 600,000 finance cost tu according to the value of investment. Understand? Alright. And then commercial property, okay, this one is the section 4A income tadi, you ada capital allowance of 165,000. So you akan ada commercial property because you provide, okay, correction. Commercial property, bila you provide services, dia akan jadi section 4A income. So you akan apportion baliklah tadi. Alright. You akan apportion accordingly how much is for the commercial property, how much is for residential property, the finance cost. On top of that, you also ada capital allowance. Right, you boleh claim capital allowance because dia under section 4A income for your commercial properties. Siapa kebela? Siapa boleh angkat tangan? Okay, Akila, kat mana bela?
Benda-benda ulang balik tak yang commercial properties tu?
Okay. Sekarang commercial properties tu sebab dia provide services. Tapi sekejap bagi I check I punya jawapan Sat. Sat nah. Kita ada 10 minit je lagi. Salah. 5 minit je lagi. Tak nak buka lah pula Excel ni. Sat nah. Okay. Question number 1 Kemboja kan? Ini soalan dia. Jawapan dia. Okay. Alright. Because, sorry remember bila sendian berhad, Persendirian berhad lah pula. Betul lah. Bila dia unlisted company, I share balik. Bila dia listed company, salah, apa nama dia? Dia unlisted company. Kenapa I buat ni? Lari. Okay. Kemboja is a sendirian berhad. So bila dia sendirian berhad, dia akan income dia akan assess under section 4C, 4D je. Dia takkan ada 4E. Even though dia provide maintenance. So even though commercial property ni, dia provide maintenance, right, comprehensively, dia still akan being assessed as section 4D income. So bila 4D income, walaupun dia ada mentions kat sini, commercial property dia ada capital allowance, you tak boleh claim capital allowance. Faham? Alright, correction balik tadi So maknanya under sendirian berhad, rental income is always assessed under section 4D whether you provide maintenance or not. So dia akan dua income lah. Dia akan ada rental of commercial properties, akan rental of residential properties. Kalau you tengok jawapan dia, tunjuk jawapan hilang pula, jawapan hilang. Okay, nampak tak? Kalau dividend from Malaysia is exempted and then dividend from unit trust 2620. Mari dapat 2620 memang dia bagi. So dividend from Malaysia ada dua kan? So yang single tier tu is exempted. So you tulislah exempted. Nampak? Tapi the second dividend from unit trust the 2620. So you can income 26 tapi you ada finance cost tadi kita kira 144. Betul tak? Mana finance cost tadi? Hilang lah. Finance cost tadi kita kira 144. So benda tu you tolak lah sebab dia direct expenditure. Incurred in deriving to your dividend from your unit trust. Understand? Okay. The second one interest from bond. So you akan ada interest from bond tadi mana? Interest from bond 3420 and then you akan ada finance cost juga. So macam mana nak kira finance cost? Samalah macam kita kira tadi. Depending on how much is the investment, alright, a portion from your 600,000 finance cost. Okay, under section 4D nampak? Dia akan ada rental commercial property dengan rental from your residential. Dia pecahkan dua sebab the finance cost tu tak sama. Alright, so bila you ada macam ni, you akan pecahkan jugalah. Sometimes kita combine pun sama je, alright? Sebab kalau rental sebenarnya rental punya principle is that kita akan combine all rental income, total income tolak total expenditure. So dia akan ada satu rental income under section 4D je lah. So kalau I akan campurkan rental income from commercial campur properties tolak finance cost. So finance cost akan total jadi dalam 104 something like that. Alright, so you akan dapat adjusted income of these two lah item total, in totality. Okay, so I prefer that kind of presentation sebab untuk rental normally kita akan combine semua rental. So katalah you ada a few rental units kan. Kan kalau orang invest in property, takkanlah dia invest satu property. Dia akan ada banyak properties. So what they do is that total income from all the properties tolak total expenses from all the properties. Right? Sebab kita tak akan kira setiap satu property tu. Kita akan total up everything. Then kalau ada loss, then it's a permanent loss lah. Right? And in this case, you ada finance cost. Tolakkan sekaligus lah. Finance cost. Alright. Management fee. Alright. Management fee. You akan ada mana management fee tadi? Okay. Kenapa gain from realization tak masuk? Sebab dia bukan taxable income. Tapi gain ni akan digunakan dalam bila nak kira apa? Nak kira apa?
PE.
C. Nak kira C pakai gain from sale of investment. So jangan confuse ya. Management fee is section 4D income. So that's why masuk section 4D pula. Section 4F income. Right? And then you have your aggregate income. Okay, now you tolak your share of your permitted expenses. Macam mana nak dapat 640 tu? Itu yang datang A tu. What is your A? Betul tak tadi you identify benda ni? Ada tak benda yang lebih? Director, salary, audit, office rental. Okay, itu je. Right, so you dapat 4390. Buat macam ni. Tunjukkan what is your A. What is your B? B apa? Maknanya dividend from trust 2620 which is taxable income je. Interest from bond campur rental income. Nampak? So masukkan benda tu satu-satu. List down benda tu. Dividend from unit trust. interest income from bond, rental from properties, commercial and residential. Nampak? 12,800. Apa C? C is everything. B campurkan dengan exempt income. Which is your exempt income? Exempt 7220 ni exempted. Lepas tu campurkan dengan C apa lagi satu? Realization ni. Nampak? So dia campur 1,200 kat situ. So dia ada exempt income dengan gain. Plus your punya B. So B tu tak payah kira balik. You ambil je B daripada atas. Right? Your 12,800 tu jadi your B. Sebab C is B campur exempt income campur gain from realization of your investment. So dapatlah C is 2,120. So A times by B over 4C pakailah formula. Right? A, ambillah figure A times by B over 4 times by C. Dapatlah 662. Tapi kena compare what is 5% of B. 5% of B is 640. So what's the law? The law kata whichever is lower. So whichever is lower is your 640 lah. So that's why 640 tu you guna untuk tolak against you punya ni. Against your aggregate income dapat 640. Faham tak? From there is your chargeable income. Soalan memang selalu tanya sampai chargeable income je. Tak kira tax payable. Right? Tak kira tax payable. Okay. So maknanya soalan dia tadi apa? Lagi sekali. Explain why. Okay, bila nombor 1 dia kata explain kenapa Kemboja is investment holding company. You nak jawab apa? Fatin, Aina. Macam mana you nak jawab soalan A? Number 1.
Dekat statement tu dah ada tulis withholding.
Sorry? Apa dia?
Dia punya ni income dia semua dividend bond rental.
Tak boleh jawab macam tu. Mesti technical. How you decide whether company is investment holding company or not?
Investment income at least 80%
Yes.
of
But
the
how you
aggregate
show
income.
that is 80%?
Yalah kan.
How do you know it's
Calculation.
80%? That's why
Calculation.
kita support your answer with
Tambah
calculation.
income dia.
Calculation. Calculation
Tunjuklah
gitu.
calculation. Tunjuklah calculation. You kena tunjuklah calculation dia apa. You punya income daripada dividend, campur interest, campur rental. Over total income berapa?
2,260.
22,060. So you kena tunjuklah computation tu. Mana? Alright. Soalan nombor 1 dia mana? Main activity dia ada 2. Main activity must be holding and then fulfill 80%. So mana dapat income from investment 18,570. Mana dapat 18,570? Dividend campur interest campur rental income. Tapi tu ada 20. Income from holding of investment. Kenapa tak dapat? Kenapa dapat 18,570? Total income pun kenapa 2860?
11 to 14. Dia buang management fees.
Sekejap The investment income. All income 4C campur 4D over 4A to F. Includes exempt income.
Madam, management fees tadi masuk section 4.
Tapi dia punya formula kan income 4A to 4F. Okay, cuba kita check dekat investment holding. Mana? Ni. CSG. Anyone boleh tolong cari tak? 80% tu. Investment holding. Other than consumer business or holding of investment from holding of investment. Okay, dengar ni. Okay, tengok. That's why tax ni kita baca betul-betul. Effective from 2006, dia kata 80%. Betul 80%. Other than 80% tu whereby the income is 80% of its gross income. Other than gross income from a source consisting of business of holding of investment. Apa maksud dia? Maknanya income from section 4A tadi tak masuk. Okay, kita ada rental income ada dua kan? Satu commercial, satu residential. Betul? Kita punya income, nampak tak? Kita punya rental ni, ini is section, ikutkan 4A income. Sebab dia provide comprehensive maintenance. Rental from residential is 4D income. So kalau you nak decide on the 80% tu, dia kata you only ambil 4C dengan 4D income je. So you tak akan ambil lah. So maknanya, and then the business of holding is defined as business of letting property where company provide. So dia kata ni the business of letting ni bila dia provide services. So benda tu is excluded dalam nak kira 80%. Does this exclude, alright, in determining whether the company is ISC or not? Such income will be excluded to determine 80-20 rule. And then but it's included in the denominator. Tapi sebagai gross income dia masuk. Right? Sebagai gross income dia masuk. Income other than income from the holding, such as management fee will be treated as section 4F income. So maknanya sekarang ni, however ISC will be treated as, okay, ini tak ada. Alright, ini permitted expenses. Permitted expenses. Okay, so tengok balik. So sekarang ni dia, mana dia? So sekarang ni dia kata, income, dividend income masuk. Right, I buat 9840. Okay. Interest from bond masuk, betul tak? Tapi rental income masuk berapa? 5310 je. Mak. Kenapa masuk 53? Sebab I ambil only 4C income je. Income from commercial because kita provide, so dia tak masuk. So kita ambil 5310 je, so total kat sini jadi berapa? 18570, which is that amount. Nampak? Of course, you punya gain tak masuk lah. Management fee pun tak masuk sebagai 4C, 4D. Tapi what is your gross income? Your gross income from 4C, 4D, dia ambil
Tolak management fees.
Dia ambil ni campur realization. Is it? Tak juga.
Rental dia ambil semua. Madam.
Rental
Kali
dia
dengan
ambil semua.
commercial.
2610. Kalau dia ambil semua, jadi 22. Kalau dia tak masukkan 840, dia akan jadi 21220. Tak juga. Ambil. What is mana nota Salwa tadi? All income A to F. All income. Include exempt income. So maknanya all income maknanya kat sini lah. Kenapa?
Jadi kena ambil semua lah kan madam kan? 22060 tu lah kan?
Kalau I akan ambil yang tu lah kot. Kalau tak I ambil yang tu. Suka hati je tukar. So jadi 84%. Masih lagi ISC lah.
Gain tu pun termasuk dalam A to F ke?
Oh, gain tak masuk lah. Sorry.
Oh.
Gain tak masuk.
Oh,
So
saya
dia
cakap
akan ambil
tadi.
yang ni dengan yang ni.
Yes. Dia buang
So
gain.
jadi 28C0. Nampak tak? Campur. Ini. Campur. Nampak? So this one is total income A to F. Ini C and D. For C and for D. Okay tak? Faham? So you akan dapat 89%. So because dia 89%, then the company is an investment holding company. Ha, you kena jawab macam tu. Right? Kena jawab macam tu. So kenapa company tu is investment holding company? Because number one is that the main activity is investment. Right? And then number two, because the apa kaya dia tadi? Main activity is holding of investment and more than 80% of income is from investment, section 4C4D, including exempt income. Okay. Number two, compute the chargeable income, kita dah buat. And then assume Cambodia. Okay, sekarang ni dia kata assume Cambodia is a listed company. Explain the effect of the listing on the tax treatment of income and expenses and the calculation of chargeable income of the property. No calculation is required. So you kena buat computation tak? Tak payah. Tapi macam mana you nak buat? How you answer this question?
Dia explain lah kan madam yang dia boleh claim CA apa semua tu.
Cakap lah. Number one is that all income will be assessed as section 4A income. So income from section 4A, C, D, F tu will be treated as section 4A income. And then company can claim capital allowance and common expenses, the apportionment, based on apportionment lah. Right, and of course direct expenses tu is deductible lah. In arriving to adjusted income, then you can claim your common expenses and capital allowance. Apa lagi?
Unutilized losses and
CA?
capital cannot carry forward.
Yes, cannot carry forward. Tu je lah. Okay. So dah menjawab lah soalan. So dah dapat dah full mark. Berapa markah? 20 markah. Dapat lah. Tak dapatnya 20 markah. Kesannya markah dia 7 je.
7 je madam.
Yeah. So make sure dapat 7 lah. Masalah 7 je madam. Tapi tak dapat full pun.
Astagfirullah. Banyak madam 7.
Apa-apa kita akan dia 7 je markah dia. Selalunya 7. Sebab dia katalah macam normal soalan dia kan. Soalan biasa 3 soalan question number 3 tu kan. So 3 soalan kat situ. Setiap satu 7, 6 lah. Markah 20. Soalan ni memang total satu soalan besar 20 markah. So kena apportion lah macam tu. Okay? Alright. Okay, dah. Cukuplah kita sampai di sini. Ya Allah, dah 11:30. Kau ada kelas ke tak ada? Tak maaf, tak maaf. Kau tak cakap tadi, dah stop. Sorry. Ada kelas lain tak?
Ada. Tapi saya
Okay,
tak
minta maaf. Okay, bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.